Hi, Sandra Wilson here, clinical hypnotherapist. And I thought I would talk a little bit today about the role of your nervous system in your rejection sensitivity. And the question really is, can you train your nervous system to help you cope better with rejection and even to overcome those horrible physical feelings that we often experience with rejection sensitivity? And I think the answer is yes, we can. So the nervous system, it's quite complex, but the central role of the nervous system is to bring your attention to things that aren't safe. Okay, so if it's in survival mode, if you are in survival mode, then of course it's going to take a great deal of care to protect you from things it feels that aren't safe. They're a risk to your safety. So even though logically it doesn't make sense, maybe a simple way of describing this is if you're, you're walking down a dark street and you hear footsteps, your nervous system is going to react to either make you freeze and look around to make sure that you're safe, or to run away, okay, or get into a fight if an assailant follows you. So it's just classic fight or flight stuff. But with something like rejection, what is it that isn't safe? Okay, so you know that a text message that might be a bit ambiguous, if you take it as somebody rejecting you, you know that you're not going to be physically in danger. Or if you're in a work meeting and maybe you make a suggestion or make a comment and it's dismissed, maybe not even rudely, you know that you're not physically at risk. Or if you perhaps take something a friend says as potential rejection, again, it could be something like, yes, do come along if you wish to, if they're having a party, rather than expressly saying, I would love you to come. You may perceive that as rejection, but you know that physically you're not being chased by a hungry wild animal. It's a sense of psychological safety. The feeling of being rejected makes you feel deeply unsafe at quite a deep psychological level, an emotional sense of not being safe. And maybe it reminds you of all those times that you were made to feel wrong or not good enough when you were younger, growing up, or those negative messages that people with ADHD get. Maybe it doesn't necessarily remind you of anything as such, but it's just a truly horrible feeling and it makes you break into a bit of a panic. So how can you train your nervous system to feel safe? And there are, of course, many things that you could try if you haven't tried already. Sometimes the simple things are the best when they're pursued regularly and diligently. So, for example, breath work, simple breathing techniques to ground yourself into the moment when you start to notice those those feelings of being rejected. Sometimes just using very encouraging affirmations, like, I am safe in this moment. That can sometimes help to rewire our negative thinking patterns. So these are all straightforward things that you can do yourself at home. Some people find that meditation can be very helpful because it does have a sense of calming. It can really help you to see that simply by being very mindful, a nice mindfulness meditation can really help ground you in that present moment and reassure you that you're safe. Other people find that therapy, especially something like hypnotherapy, which is what I do, can also be very good at uncovering those patterns, those old beliefs that are hanging around like a bad smell that maybe feed into your sense of rejection sensitivity and therefore not feeling safe. And when you start to shift your beliefs, sometimes magic can almost happen. Sometimes I find that the core belief at the root of all this is not believing that you're good enough. You may have been told time and time again that you're not good enough. So yes, there are things you can do to help train your nervous system to believe that you are safe in the face of rejection, because at the end of the day, it's not really going to kill you. And I hope that's helped, and I will be back with more content tomorrow. Bye for now.